This is Mrs. Smith, your instructor, and we will see an overview of week 3, our third week into the course. In this week, you will learn to describe where things or people are using the expression il y a. Actually, you used it and learned it last week, but we will see it again. You will identify classroom objects and people, so the vocabulary will be about classrooms. And you will learn how to pronounce silent final consonants and final consonants that are pronounced. You will learn functional phrases for describing people's character, traits, and nationalities. You will use subject pronouns and the verb être, which means to be. You will differentiate between il, elle, and c'est, as well as the gender and number of forms of adjectives. You will learn to describe people's physical and personality traits and nationalities using different adjectives. And you will recognize cognates and listen for familiar words. There are a lot of cognates in French, meaning words that are very, very close or exactly the same as in English, but they're pronounced different, of course. Okay, final consonants. This is very important. Usually they're silent, so they're not pronounced. Like in these 4 examples, téléphone, chocolat, vous, salut. See, I don't pronounce the S and T's at the end of the word. Again, téléphone, chocolat, vous, salut. Then unaccented E or ES are silent always, if there is no accent on the E, okay? But you have to pronounce the preceding consonant. So I will say timide. See, I don't say timide, I say timide. That D is the D, of course. Étudiante. I pronounce the T and I stop right there. Italienne. I pronounce the N at the end. Une. Italienne. Une. The consonants C, R, F, and L, which are the consonants in the word careful, are usually pronounced at the end of words. So I will say lac, actif, animal, hôtel, bonjour. A good way to remember is to just memorize these few words where you have an example for every consonant that is actually pronounced at the end of the word. Tu aimes vous. Okay. You know that in French there are 2 ways of addressing people, formal and informal. Tu is always informal and is always singular. Like in the sentence, comment vas-tu? How are you doing? You will use comment vas-tu if you are addressing a friend, somebody from your family, somebody. Anytime you don't need to be formal. On the other hand, vous can be formal, both singular and plural, or informal. So when I say comment allez-vous, and I'm addressing a single person, I am being formal. When I say comment allez-vous and I'm addressing a group of people, I can be addressing them in either formally or informally. So I can be addressing a group of friends or a group of people with whom I have to be formal. When in doubt, go formal in France or with French people, because most conversations in French are formal. So if you're not a good friend, if it's not somebody from your family, just go formal. Adjective agreement, this is not an easy subject. When you look up a noun or an adjective in the dictionary, you will be given the standard form, which is masculine singular. Adjectives have to agree in gender, masculine or feminine, and number, plural, singular, with the noun they agree to. So, for instance, I put here an example with the adjective amusant. If I want to say he is amusant, which is funny, I'll say il est amusant. Amusant. If I want to say plural, they, masculine, are funny, I'll say ils sont amusants. And I add the S because it's masculine plural. If I talking about a girl, a lady, I will say elle est amusante. So to turn the standard form masculine singular into the feminine singular, I add the E at the end. Elle est amusante. E that I will not pronounce. And then to say they, feminine, are funny, I will say elles sont amusantes. So I added an S to make the plural. Keep this in mind. This is very, very important. Also, don't forget that this week you will have to respond to 2 of your classmates' introductions. Remember, bonjour, je m'appelle in Canvas. So answer whatever you can say in French. We are at the beginning, but try to say something in French. You can start with French and then add some English, but just answer 2 of your classmates. Don't forget that we have the mini quiz. Well, you have. And the mini quiz has unlimited attempts, and its purpose is to see if you're ready to take the unit test. In the mini quiz, you will be tested on the bare minimum skills you need to try the unit test. So if you don't do well in the mini quiz, keep retaking it, but go back and study those things that you didn't know how to answer. And then there is the unit test, 1 attempt only. And when you open it, you can already close it and go back. So when it opens, the timer starts, and when you're done with the time, it closes automatically. So start the test only when you're sure that you can finish it, and only when you're sure that you can, you're ready for it. Also, don't forget that at the end, in Espace Super Site, at the end of every activity, you have the option ask your instructor. So if there's something you didn't understand in that specific activity, click that link and ask me the question. It's the easiest, the best way to have the correct answer. Believe me, I will give you a correct answer. Well, bonne semaine. Have a very good week, and as usual, contact me immediately whenever you have a problem. Au revoir.